Welcome to Ginny's, where East meets West, and a slice of Eastern philosophy becomes a part of Western thinking. I'm your host, Ginny Gong. Today's guest is a renowned dancer, choreographer, and Ohashiatsu instructor who seems to have lived two lifetimes, one on her own as a well-traveled Julliard-trained dancer who appeared on Broadway and toured in The King and I with Yul Brynner, the other with her late husband, Mantle Hood, well-known author and ethnomusicology pioneer, supporting awareness of cultures through dance and music. Join me in welcoming the Director of Ohashiatsu Maryland, Hazel Chung Hood. Welcome, Hazel.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me. So let's start by learning a little more about your roots, your family. Tell us about that.
I'm very mixed up.
I knew there was an explanation.
I was born in the West Indies, in Jamaica, West Indies.
Okay.
My father was a Chinese Hakka.
Okay.
My mother, Scottish and Arawak Indian. So before that, I didn't know who I was or what I was until that movie, Love is a Many Splendored Thing. Did you see that?
I did.
Where they said this mixture are European and Asian was called Eurasian.
Okay.
So when people then began to ask me what I'm Eurasian.
You say you're Eurasian,
yes,
right?
and then they didn't know what that was. So.
Well, let's turn the clock back, okay, to Julliard, all right? And you were accepted into the Julliard School, which in and of itself is quite an accomplishment.
I have to go a little bit farther back. I came to this country when I was 8 years old.
All right.
To new parents in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Okay. And what do you mean by new parents?
New parents means I left all my family back in the islands and I was adopted.
Okay.
But she really was.
By a cousin, by somebody?
By a family member who had long time gone. We never knew her. But at that time, she was ready to adopt an American baby.
Okay.
And just ready to sign the papers. And an uncle who was working on a farm in Florida went to visit her and said, "No, please do not sign. You have poor relatives."
Right.
And
you have Hazel.
You
right?
have Hazel. And she, no, he came back then and said, "Who would like to go to America?" And I said, "I would."
And
I had
at
a
8
sister.
years old.
Yeah, my sister didn't want to do this.
Oh, wow, wow.
And thinking back over the years, I go, why did you want to leave your parents?
Right.
The only reason I can think of was that I wanted to see snow.
Okay.
See how messed up I am?
Right,
Yeah.
right. But that led to quite a
Yes,
career.
it did. Yes, it did. When I arrived, these new parents asked me, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I wanted to dance." And they supported.
At 8 years old, you knew that. Okay.
Well, I knew that, a long time ago in the islands. I was always dancing and making money.
Yeah, okay. Now, you got a scholarship into Julliard.
Yes, I was very, very fortunate. I danced all my teenage life, did not have a normal life. All I did was classes, dancing, piano, not a normal life at all.
Okay.
And I would go to New York in the summers and studies and, Finally, this wonderful school opened. Julliard was #1, and it still is for the arts, music and dance.
Oh, everybody's heard of Julliard.
And then I was accepted, and I got a scholarship.
So what was the impact of Julliard on your life?
Julliard, this was the grand city opened up. This was the life for us. All we knew was working with the best pioneering figures in the world of dance.
Right,
Martha Graham, Jose Limon, Doris Humphrey, all these pioneers who has established the foundation of what dance is in America, because they introduced into the colleges and into the schools programs for dance.
So how did you then get involved with The King and I? and Yul
Yes.
Brynner.
So we're still at Julliard.
Okay.
And then we hear that there's an audition, and 350 people show up to audition.
Okay.
Because they were going to take the Broadway company on tour. So I guess I just hung in there, and I was selected to be one of the dancers. Okay. They trained us. We did the Broadway show first with Yul Brynner, and Patricia Morrison took over the lead role for the touring company.
Okay.
So then
And how long were you on tour?
2.5 years.
Wow. And you covered a lot of cities.
About 35 cities in America.
Wow. What was it like to work with Yul Brynner? I mean, what are your memories of this man?
Well, he's a very sexy guy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I mean, we played concubines, you know, the dancers. The dancers did everything in that show. They worked us hard because we had to appear in scenes as his wives. We had to carry the children on. We had to change makeup 3 times. And for a 2 matinee and night show, oh my goodness. So that's why I have all these wrinkles.
Okay.
So then, yeah, I think we worked like slaves in that show. But Yul,
what an experience.
Yes, it is.
Right.
What I admire most about Yul is the discipline that he created for himself. To carry that show takes a lot of physicality and kinetic energy. I would run up on stage every night and just hide behind the curtains and watch him do his kinesthetics. 1 hour, breathing, walk, because the king was expressed, like I would say, 85% by the body.
Yeah, yeah. And the voice. I mean, he had that voice.
He had to train it. He warmed up.
Wow, wow. So wonderful memories of that time.
Yes, yes.
Okay. And now you're very world-traveled. You know, your love of dancing and music have taken you all over the world.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Where did you go from there? From The King and I?
From The King and I was lucky again to get a
Somebody's
scholarship.
been watching over you.
Yes, that's my life. Another scholarship from the Ford Foundation, and I went off to Indonesia.
Okay.
I was the first serious dancer studying in Bali and in Java and other parts of Indonesia. I was there 3 years.
So you were explaining to me, you know, you've got Javanese and Balinese dancing. And I love the way you know, sort of showing me, what's the difference between the two? Are they similar? Are they?
It's like jazz and, you know, classical music. Balinese is very much fast movements of the gamelan and eye movements and, you know, a lot of...
And your neck, right? You can
neck
do that?
Movements, yes, and fingers and, you know, all of this kind of work.
Okay.
And very jazzy. The gamelan is very faster. Java, then, it's, you know, you're moving from a Hindu religious integrated music and dance to Java, which is more extremely sedate, slow. You're in the palace, and it might take me like 32 counts just to do a movement like this. The eyes are down. It's a meditation.
Wow.
It's a meditation in dance, and it's more difficult for me. It was more difficult than Balinese, but it is a prayer as you dance. This is how the body feels it.
And you've had the experience of learning all these different movements and forms of dancing.
Yes.
Wow. Now, how has all of this training in dance influenced your life?
Well, I think the body cannot sit still.
It's hard for you to sit here for this interview.
Yes,
right?
it is.
So, okay. And you know, like when you hear music, you feel like you've got to get up.
Oh, that's how I keep myself in shape.
Yeah.
Because, you know, once the body, I have so many different languages in my body that now, if I feel depressed, I put music on, and I'm doing like a jazzy music, but I'm doing Balinese movements, I kind of integrate everything together.
Now, I know you're learning Latin dancing. How is that fitting into all of this?
Yes, I'm trying to get back my dancing body. I lost it. So I'm getting it back and strengthen it again. I'm doing golf, trying to get my legs to move again.
Well, I would think in golf, though, you don't have that rhythm.
Yes, you do. Oh my goodness, to swing that, it's all rhythm.
Okay.
Yes, oh yes. So I do, this is my health plan, right? To keep the body strong and keep it, I challenge it all the time. So I do yoga, I do hiking, I do swimming, I do ballroom, and I do kinesthetics things. You have to, or the body can be very disgruntled. I mean, one day you wake up and you feel wonderful, and the other day you get out of bed and you're going,
Right, you hardly can get up.
Yep.
Well, you know what? I'm going to ask you to hold that thought and hold your body still for a short break, okay? All right. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay tuned.
Say with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life. Book people unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education.
Right up here.
So every year, I take promising high schoolers on a college tour
Lights there, darts there.
to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
Nice.
Run! Yes, go! Yes!
No.
Come on!
Oops. Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy.
Works every time.
Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.
Packers. Viking. Packers. Viking. Viking.
Red state, blue state, vegan.
Carnivore.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
Downtown.
Optimist.
We come to different conclusions.
Half empty.
Half full.
But when we live united, we create real, lasting change in the building blocks of life. The education, income, and health of our communities,
Live.
our families,
United.
even the person next to us.
Live united.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Welcome back to Ginny's, where East meets West. I am joined by my guest, Hazel Chung Hood, accomplished performer and instructor of Ohashiatsu Healing. So, Hazel, you're very dedicated to healing approaches, right? That sort of integrate the body, the mind. Let's talk a little bit about, this approach that you have to life.
This, from my dance career, was a segue
into
an art of alternative medicine. And the form or style that I have been practicing for almost 30 years now is called Ohashiatsu.
Ohashiatsu.
Shiatsu is a generic term. It means finger pressure. Shi means finger, atsu means pressure. But Ohashiatsu is a very special form which was brought and integrated here by my teacher, Wataru Ohashi. And so this form has been taught in the United States now for over 35, 40 years.
Wow.
And I am one of the teachers of the Institute. So we have students from all over the world that comes to take these classes. And I have a handful of clients who I work with to help them with their health.
So what are some of the basic principles of this? Is it like acupuncture?
The foundation of it is acupuncture because it's all based on Chinese traditional medicine.
Okay.
But we do not use needles. You don't have to be undressed.
Okay.
We work on you in the Japanese way. There's a futon on the floor, you're dressed, and our work involves yoga, your meditation, stretches. It is a wonderful way to keep yourself in you must be in good tonus.
Right.
Wonderful way to be able to crawl on the floor with your clients.
Okay.
So we have a 5 principles. One of them, I think I live my life through this. The giver is the receiver, the giver. So as I am working with you, you're involved with meditation, deep breathing. You're healing yourself.
Okay.
I am only there to be your assistant.
Wow.
I enjoy it.
And so you were a student and you're also a teacher.
Oh, yes.
Of this.
Yes.
And you're also performing it yourself.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot of dimensions of this. Very much like a holistic approach.
It is holistic. It is, I believe right now we're into a whole stream, a reaction or a segue into what I call energy medicine.
And how popular is this now here in the United States?
I think it's really moving very fast.
Is it catching on?
Oh, yes. And I'm so delighted and pleased to be a part of this movement because I see the wave. I started 30 years ago,
right.
And when the word shiatsu wasn't even known, but now it is in the mainstream, alternative medicine to help yourself. You are the healer, to know your body again. This instrument has all the medicine you need to heal yourself. So we just need the dimensions and the way of changing the mindset.
So you don't take vitamins or?
Oh, I take some vitamins,
okay.
Yes.
You take pills? You take any kind of medicine, or is just no medicine?
No.
Just
my food is my medicine.
Okay. Now let's talk about this other dimension of your life, which is the part that's involved that came about as a result of your marriage to your husband, Mantle Hood, and his involvement in what's ethnomusicology. Mm-hmm. What is that?
Yes.
And how involved were you in that?
Oh, very involved, because we both were at UCLA after I came back from Indonesia. Mm-hmm. I was again given another scholarship to go to UCLA.
You didn't have to spend any money on school.
I did. This was Rockefeller who supported my part of my study in Indonesia, and then they brought me to UCLA because there was a guy there named Mantle Hood who had started the Institute of Ethnomusicology, and had also his specialty was Java and Bali. So they found this dancer who didn't know where she was going to go.
I think it was the matchmaking.
So I didn't want to go to an institution, academic, but I ended up there and started teaching in the department. In fact, the first time ethnic dance was introduced at UCLA, we did it.
Wow.
Ethnic music. We had over 25 different cultures represented in music and dance.
And now that is included in many universities as a part of the curriculum.
Yes. It was wonderful. I just came back from a trip to Kuala Lumpur, Thailand, Kota Kinabalu. These were world conference in music, teachers and professors from all over, and they were celebrating the 100th birthday of Mantle Hood. So I got to hear they were honoring him. That was
wonderful
really nice.
that you were able to be there. So you raised 3 boys, and they grew up in this environment, right?
Yes.
I mean,
playing music,
right?
dancing
Was nothing strange to them.
No. One son did the Balinese dance. He does Ohashiatsu, and he is the photographer for Baltimore Museum of Art. You see?
Okay.
And the third son is the professor of ethnomusicology in Taiwan.
Oh my God.
And the first son is a businessman.
Oh, what a disappointment. But he's married to a dancer.
Exactly.
Right,
yes, she's married
right.
to him.
I guess I bring this up because I have 2 sons. And no way would they go near a dance floor. I mean, but yours grew up in that environment.
Oh, sure.
And so it was just part of life.
And surrounded by people from all over the world.
Right.
Yeah.
And your home was just a haven.
A welcoming, because many of these people did not know what Thanksgiving would. They'd come in and see this huge turkey that I cooked. They'd run away because they don't have this in their culture.
Yeah,
Such big.
Wow. So in all of these things that you do, would you say that you're a spiritual person, a religious person, both, neither? I mean, what are you?
I think I would lean towards spirituality. I am open to all religions. I can go anywhere. I can be in a temple in Bali. I can be in a mosque anywhere. For me, this is the language we're all heading towards the same thing. Just language and how you do it and play it is different. But for me, I think the strength, the beauty comes in the universe if we are aware, kind, compassionate, open to your presence. You're beautiful. So this is spirituality.
So if I'm depressed, I just have to see you, and then you just tell me that, right? So from everything I'm hearing about you, it seems like you're a totally right-brained person. Is there, because it's so involved in the arts and dancing, is there any part of you that's left brain?
I think I'm left brain when I play golf. It's so bad. If I think too much, I analyze, then it's horrible.
So it's spontaneity.
If I just go up and take a deep breath and hit the ball, it's much better.
So do you feel you have a calling? Do you feel that your life has been a calling?
My
why else would you get all these scholarships?
Yeah. My life has been blessed, and it has been directed by a power much stronger than I had. I did no thinking or no planning as to where I was going. Just being blessed and thankful and grateful for where I am today. And my passion, I know, is to give to others, because by giving to others, I receive so much more.
Wow, you exemplify all these little, these things that we read and we wonder if it's too hokey, but talking to you, there is a lot of truth in that. I want to, close by this other piece of your life. You moved to Maryland, you moved to Ellicott City, and you've always believed in the elements, right? And yet, it was one of those elements that really impacted your life so much. Water, right?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, 2016, July 30th. Incidentally, that was the July 30th, 2005, my husband passed. On that day, the biggest flood, in 2016 happened in Ellicott City.
Oh, wow.
And it flooded my house. We lost many of my documents.
Wow.
But interesting, the miracle is that 2 weeks before this flood, all the documentation of my husband was in the basement. But UCLA finally came and took it 2 weeks before the flood.
Wow.
So water expresses purification.
You're trying very hard to find something good in that flood, right? You got a new house out of it.
Sure, I had to leave. I left. And I thought, because all the records of my teaching and students and clients was destroyed and so on, that I would give up being in this holistic health field.
Right, right.
But the students said no. And so they're supporting and helping to bring the classes back.
Well, with this conversation, I know why, you know, you're just always such an upbeat person, you know, it's really very inspiring. Thank you, Hazel.
Thank you, Jenny. I enjoyed very much. Thank you.
I wish you peace,
Thank
okay,
you.
as you bring comfort and, you know, good health to so many in your life. Take care.
Thank you.
That concludes our show for today. Special thanks to my guest, Hazel Chung Hood, who has spent her life performing and helping others. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Stay well, and we'll see you next time.